Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach you about conducting system of the heart. In previous lecture we have seen regarding general introduction of the heart, then right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Okay. And today we will see regarding conducting system of the heart as well as blood supply, lymphatic system of the heart, then venous drainage of the heart and applied aspect of the heart. Okay, so first we will start with conducting system of the heart. The conducting system is made up of myocardium that is specialized for initiation and conduction of the cardiac impulse. Okay, it is made up of myocardium and function specialized for initiation and conduction of the cardiac impulse. Its fibers are finer than other myocardial fibers and are completely cross-striated. The conducting system has the following parts: SA node, that is sinoatrial node. It is known as the pacemaker of the heart. Okay, it generates an impulse at the rate of about 70 per minute and initiates the heartbeat. Okay, SA node, okay, also termed as pacemaker. Okay, it generates the impulse at the rate about 70 per minute. Okay, and initiate the heartbeat. Shape, horseshoe shape, and location at the atriocaval junction in the upper part of the sulcus terminals. The impulse travels through the atrial wall to reach the AV node. Okay, through the atrial wall to reach the AV node. Second, AV node. First we have seen SA node, sinoatrial, now atrioventricular node. Atrioventricular node, it is smaller than the SA node and is situated in the lower and dorsal part of the atrial septum, just above the opening of the coronary sinus. Okay, location dorsal part of the atrial septum, just above the opening of the coronary sinus, and capable of generating impulses at a rate of about 60 per minute. In SA we have seen regarding 70 per minute, here 60 per minute. Okay, third one, AV bundle or AV bundle of the His. It is the only muscular connection between the atrial and ventricular musculatures. It begins as the AV node crosses a ring and descends along the posterior-inferior border of the membranous part of the ventricular septum. At the upper part of the muscular part of the septum, it divides into right and left branches. Okay. The right branch of the AV bundle passes down the right side of the interventricular septum. Large part enters the moderator band to reach the anterior wall of the right ventricles, where it divides into the Purkinje fibers. Okay, the right branch of the AV bundle passes down the right side of the interventricular septum. Large part enters the moderator band to reach the anterior wall of the right ventricle, where it divides into Purkinje fibers. The left branch of the AV bundle descends on the left side of the interventricular septum and is distributed to the left ventricle after dividing into Purkinje fibers. Okay. The Purkinje fibers form a subendochondral plexus. What does it form? Subendochondral plexus. Okay. They are large pale fibers striated only their margins. They usually possess double nuclei. This generates impulses at the rate of 20 to 35 beats per minute. Defect or damage to this system results in cardiac arrhythmia. Okay, that is defect in the normal rhythm of the contraction, except for a part of the left branch of the AV bundle supplied by the left coronary artery. The wall of the conducting system is usually supplied by the right coronary artery. Vascular lesions of the heart can cause variety of arrhythmias. Okay, up to this, uh, it, it was included in the conducting system of the heart. In conducting system of the heart, we have seen SA node, AV node, atrioventricular bundle of or AV bundle of the His, as well as the right branch of the AV bundle, left branch of the AV bundle, the Purkinje fibers. Okay, now we will see regarding blood supply of the heart. The heart is supplied by the two coronary arteries, okay, which originates from the ascending aorta. Both artery runs in the coronary sulcus position. Right coronary artery is smaller than the left coronary artery. Okay, right coronary artery is smaller than the left. Okay, it arises from the anterior aortic sinus of the ascending aorta. Okay, in this diagram you can see right coronary artery which arises from the anterior aortic sinus. Okay, now we will discuss regarding its course. It first passes forward and to the right to the emerge on the surface of the heart between the root of the pulmonary trunk and the right auricle. It then runs downward in the right anterior coronary sulcus to the junction of the right and inferior borders of the heart. It winds round, it winds round the inferior border to reach the diaphragmatic surface of the heart. Here it runs backwards and to the left in the right posterior coronary sulcus to reach the posterior interventricular groove. It terminates by anastomosing with the left coronary artery. Okay, this was the course regarding right coronary artery. Now we will discuss regarding its branches. Large branches, marginal, posterior interventricular, small, nodal in 60% case, right atrial, infundibular, terminal, right ventricular, and conus. Now where it supplies, area of distribution. Right atrium, ventricle, in ventricle, greater part of the right ventricle except the area adjoining the anterior interventricular groove, a small part of the left ventricle adjoining the posterior interventricular groove. Okay, in ventricle, right ventricle except the area joining the anterior interventricular groove, a small part of the left ventricular adjoining the posterior interventricular groove, posterior part of the interventricular septum. Okay, posterior part of the interventricular septum, whole of the conducting system of the heart except a part of the left branch of the AV bundle. The SA node is supplied by the left coronary artery in about 40% of the cases. Okay, SA node is supplied by the left coronary artery in about 40% cases. Now we will discuss regarding left coronary artery. Left coronary artery is larger than the right coronary artery. It arises from the left posterior aortic sinus of the ascending aorta that we have seen in this diagram. Okay, right coronary artery and left coronary artery which arises from the aortic sinus of the ascending aorta. Now we will discuss regarding its course. The artery first runs forward and to the left and emerges between the pulmonary trunk and the left auricle. Here it gives the anterior interventricular branch which runs downward in the groove of the same name. The further continuation of the left coronary artery is called the circumflex artery. After giving of the anterior interventricular branch, the artery runs to the left in the left anterior coronary sulcus. It winds round the left border of the heart and continues in the left posterior coronary sulcus near the posterior interventricular groove It terminates by anastomosing with the right coronary artery. Okay, this diagram shows the blood supply, arterial supply of the heart. Okay, right coronary artery and right ventricle, anterior descending branch of the left coronary artery, LAD, left ventricle, LCA, left atrium, aortic arch, left pulmonary veins, great cardiac veins, circumflex branch of the left coronary artery, SVC, right pulmonary veins, right atrium, IVC, right ventricle, posterior descending branch of the right coronary artery, PDA. Now its branches. Left coronary artery. Large branches, anterior interventricular branches to the diaphragmatic surface of the left ventricle, including large diagonal branch. Small branches, left atrial, pulmonary and terminal. Area of distribution, left atrium, ventricle, greater part of the left ventricle, except the area adjoining the posterior interventricular groove. Small part of the right ventricle adjoining the anterior interventricular groove, anterior part of the interventricular septum, part of the left branch of the AV bundle. Now we will discuss regarding cardiac dominance. Okay, in about 10% of the hearts, the right coronary is rather small and is not able to not able to give the posterior interventricular branch. Okay, it is small, rather small, and it not able to give posterior interventricular branch. In these cases, the circumflex artery, the continuation of the left coronary, provides the posterior interventricular branch as well as to the AV node. Such cases are called the left dominant. Mostly the right coronary artery gives posterior interventricular artery. Such hearts are right dominant. Thus the artery gives the posterior interventricular branch is dominant artery. Now we will discuss regarding collateral circulation. Heart in whole life continues working. If any branch of the artery supply or damage or stop, then there are the ways of the collateral circulation from which it gets supply. Cardiac anastomosis. The two coronary arteries anastomosis with each other in myocardium. Extracardiac anastomosis. The coronary arteries anastomosis with the vasa vasorum of the aorta, vasa vasorum of the pulmonary arteries, the internal thoracic artery, the brachial artery, the chronic artery. The last three anastomosis through the pericardium. These channels may open up in emergency when both coronary arteries are obstructed. Retrograde flow of blood in the veins may irrigate the myocardium. These anastomoses are of the little practical value. They are not able to provide an alternative source of blood in cases of blockage of branch of coronary. Blockage of arteries or coronary thrombosis usually leads to death of myocardium. The condition is called myocardial infarction. Blockage of the arteries or coronary thrombosis usually leads to death of myocardium, and this condition is termed as MI. Now we will separate the veins of the heart. Okay, these are the great cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, right marginal, posterior vein, left ventricle, oblique vein of the left atrium, right marginal vein, anterior cardiac vein, and the vena cordis minimi. In this diagram you can see veins of the heart, coronary sinus, great cardiac vein. Okay, anterior interventricular sulcus, posterior middle cardiac vein, small cardiac vein. Okay. All veins except the last two drains into the coronary sinus, which opens into the right atrium. The anterior cardiac veins and the vena cordis minima open directly into the right atrium. Coronary sinus. The coronary sinus is the largest vein of the heart. It is situated in the left posterior coronary sulcus. It is about 3 cm long. It ends by opening into the posterior wall of the right atrium. It receives the flowing tributaries. The great cardiac vein accompanies first the anterior interventricular artery, then the left coronary artery to enter the left end of the coronary sinus. The middle cardiac vein accompanies the posterior interventricular artery, join the middle part of the coronary sinus. Small cardiac vein accompanies the right coronary artery in the right posterior coronary sulcus and join the right end of the coronary sinus. The right marginal vein may drain into the small cardiac vein. The posterior vein of the left ventricle runs on the diaphragmatic surface of the left ventricle and ends in the middle of the coronary sinus. The oblique vein of the left atrium of the marsalis, a small vein running on the posterior surface of the left atrium. It terminates in the left end of the coronary sinus. It develops from the left common cardinal vein or duct of Cuvier, which may sometimes form a large left SVC. Okay, large left SVC is superior vena cava. The right marginal vein accompanies the marginal branch of the right coronary artery. It may either drain into small cardiac vein or may open directly into the right atrium. Anterior cardiac veins. The anterior cardiac veins are 3 or 4 small veins which run parallel to one another on the anterior wall of the right ventricles and usually open directly into the right atrium through its anterior wall. Vena cordis minimi. The vena cordis minimi or Thibetian veins or smallest cardiac veins are numerous small veins present in all 4 chambers of the heart which open directly into the cavity. These are more numerous on the right side of the heart than on the left. This may be one reason why left-sided infarcts are more common. Okay, left side infarction is more common due to these are numerous on the right side and lesser on the left side. Now, lymphatics of the heart. Lymphatics of the heart accompany the coronary arteries and from the two trunks. The right trunk ends in the brachiocephalic nodes and the left trunk ends in the tracheobronchial lymph nodes at the bifurcation of the trachea. Now we will discuss regarding nerve supply of the heart. Parasympathetic nerves reach at the heart via the vagus. These are the cardio-inhibitory on the stimulation. They slow down the heart rate. Sympathetic nerves are derived from the upper 2 to 5 thoracic segments of the spinal cord. These are cardio-acceleratory and on the stimulation they increase the heart rate and also dilate the coronary arteries. Both parasympathetic and sympathetic nerves form the superficial and deep cardiac plexus, the branches of which run along the coronary arteries to reach the myocardium. The superficial cardiac plexus is situated below the arch of aorta. In front of the right pulmonary artery, it is formed by first superior cervical cardiac branch of the left sympathetic chain, the inferior cervical cardiac branch of the left vagus nerve. It gives branches to the deep cardiac plexus. the right coronary artery and to the left anterior pulmonary plexus. The deep cardiac plexus is situated in front of the bifurcation of the trachea and behind the arch of the aorta. It is formed by all cardiac branches derived from all cervical and upper thoracic ganglia of the sympathetic chain, and the cardiac branches of the vagus and recurrent laryngeal nerves, except those which from the superficial plexus. The right and left halves of the plexus distribute branches to the corresponding coronary artery and pulmonary plexus. Its separate branches are given to the atria. Now we will discuss regarding a clinical anatomy of the heart. Thrombosis of coronary artery is common cause of sudden death in the person's past middle age. Okay, thrombosis of coronary artery. This is due to MI and ventricular fibrillation. Incomplete obstruction, usually due to spasm of the coronary artery, causes angina pectoris, which is associated with agonizing pain, pericardial region, and down the medial side of the left arm and forearm. Coronary angiography determines the sites of narrowing or occlusion of the coronary arteries or their branches. Coronary angiography, okay, which determines the sites of narrowing or occlusion of the coronary arteries or their branches where it gets narrow or blockage. Angioplasty, okay, is the process due to its removal of small blockage. It is done by using small stent or small inflated balloon. Okay, if there are large segments or multiple sites of blockage, coronary bypass is done using either great saphenous vein or internal thoracic artery as a graph. Okay, great saphenous vein or internal thoracic artery if there are large segments of multiple site of the blockage. Okay, then for bypass purpose we have to use, or we are using, the great saphenous vein or internal thoracic artery as a graph. The area of the chest wall overlying the heart is called precordium. Rapid pulse or increased heart rate is called tachycardia. Slow pulse or decreased heart rate is bradycardia. Irregular pulse, irregular heart rate is called arrhythmia. Consciousness of one's heartbeat is called palpitation. Inflammation of the heart can involve more than one layer of the heart. Inflammation of the pericardium is called pericarditis. Of the myocardium is myocarditis, and the endocardium is the endocarditis. Normally the diastolic pressure in the ventricle is 0. Positive diastolic pressure in the ventricle is evidence of its failure. Any one of 4 chambers of the heart can fail separately, but ultimately the rising back pressure causes the right side failure, which is associated with increased venous pressure, edema on the feet, and breathlessness on exertion. Heart failure due to lung disease is known as cor pulmonale. Normally the cardiac apex of beat is on left side. In condition of the dextrocardia, the apex is on the right side. Dextrocardia may be part of the condition called situs inversus, in which all thoracic abdominal viscera are mirror image of normal. Cardiac pain is an ischemic pain caused by incomplete obstruction of the coronary artery. In this diagram you can see the area where pain originates, or usual distribution and referred of pain in the angina pectoris. Okay, thank you everyone.